Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and for today's video on Umamusume, we're going to be going and taking a look at what I consider my kind of pull priorities, probably through all the way up until Grand Live. So this is just kind of a continuation of a video that I try and do at least once a month, just to kind of give people some ideas of what they should be thinking about as we're going through not only finishing up Unity Cup, but also make a new track. Now, this will not cover every single thing. I try and hit on the big ones. I might miss something here and there. I always let people put comments at the bottom of the YouTube video, and I'll pin anything that might be big enough or relevant enough that I missed. But I have a general good idea of what's coming up, at least all the way through Make a New Track, and what you might want to think about pulling on. And so we're going to just go ahead and get right into it. Now, we just had the Fuku banner as well as the TM Opera O banner drop, and I say though they're banners, I know they're paired with other things, but they're the big reason that you'll want to pull on either one of these. At this point, we'll be getting our free pulls here soon. Fuku is a good card for making a new track. Can give you very high rolls, but you absolutely want to MLB her. Now, one of the things that's nice with her is if you're willing to spend any money on the anniversary, we will get one free selector as well as one that you can pay for like $20 to $30. And if you can get her to limit break 2, that means you can MLB her. When you look at the next one, which will be coming up with the launch of Make a New Track, NTR, which is going to be considered the second one that kind of fits really well with Make a New Track. That one you will not be able to use the selector, but it is paired with a very good SR card, Admiral Vega, which we'll look at when we get to it. But this one has that. Now, if you're wanting to pull over her, one thing that I would advise is to wait until you get through your free pulls. My plan is on that fact, if I get one, if I get really lucky and get 2 copies of her, 2 copies is probably what I want. Maybe if I get 1, we'll see. Then I will pull on this banner. But that's with the free pulls. Else, I'm going to wait till the NTR banner. I'm pulling that one instead. But that's coming from a heavier payer. This one might be the better option for free-to-plays, depending on what your needs are going on into these future ones. I've already talked about TM Opera O and her big inheritance and all that, so we're going to kind of just push forward. I wanted to just go over this one a little bit again, since it'll kind of be relevant looking at these future ones coming up. Going into the next set, so this was after the New Year's for Japan, so we're going to have the generic You Can Pity Anybody Uma banner. Now, for most people, I'm going to say this is an easy skip if you've been playing the game for a while. Hopefully you already have a decent roster of Umas. But if you're new and you don't have that many Umas, this might be a good one to pull on. The big negative is, if there's a very specific Uma you want on it, you're going to most likely have to go all the way to Pity, because none of them are rated up, but all of them are on Pity that are in this list. Everything up through the TM Opera O banner drop. And so this is where you can pick up some of the big ones that you need. So like Dober, Seiun Sky, Fujiki Seki, some of those that have good inherits. Now I will say, one of the big ones that most people are going to want out of here is going to be Seiun Sky if you missed her. The thing is, she does rerun later, and she reruns I think it's in the middle. Yeah, it's like towards the end of Make a New Track. She reruns with Narita Bryan, which is also another good Uma, with also a good inherit on some tracks. I would actually, if she's one that you're wanting, wait until this banner, is my opinion. Now, I will say this banner is right before the Summer Maruzensky and stuff, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So, this is just kind of where you can pick up some other Umas. I'm going to be skipping it. If you have already a decent roster, easy skip. It's just going to give you more dupes, more, yeah. Someone's saying it's a scam banner. Unless you're like brand spanking new and you just need to get some random new Umas on your roster. The next one after that, this is a scam one. This is a garbage pal card that gives you debuffs and everything. Just skip for that. SR, I don't even, like, a lot of people at this point, you're starting to really kind of get a well-rounded deck of SRs, hopefully, as well as having some MLB SSRs, depending on your luck. Now, SR cards, you never pull over them except one that we're about to get to. Potentially you pull for it. And even if they're good, just get them through pulling on future banners. Don't pull specifically for them. Sakira, nothing too crazy there. This one is the biggest scam banner. We just finished up the last Champions meetings where Rico's really relevant. You might see some people want to use her still for maybe Aquarius Cup. Potentially, if you're building a challenging Uma stamina-wise that needs to do the Tosho Spring, she might have value for the sprint, just for the fact that it'll get you through the Tosho Spring without having to hit stamina, as well as she does have a good gamble skill, Rushing Gale. Other than that, this is getting ready to go to Make a Track. She can be good in Make a New Track with her 10% race bonus, but it is not worth it to MLB her at this point. So easy skip. Tazuna's got no race bonus. She's dead on arrival as well. And you don't want to pull on that one because right after you have Mihono Bourbon Valentines. This is going to be anybody that wants to do anything front runners at all. Which you should want to. League of Heroes, though, even when they kind of fall off a little bit in the future, there's still the meta option for League of Heroes, which is the other end game mode we'll be getting that'll alternate with Champions of Meetings. Super free to play friendly, and very easy to build. You've probably heard a lot about her. She has everything she wants in her kit. She has Escaped Artist, she has Concentration, she has Groundwork. Wherever it's at. It's in here somewhere. It's at the top, isn't it? Yeah, she has Groundwork. She has Early Lead. The only thing that's going to be hard to get if you really, really care about getting it is Taking the Lead, since that's on the Mihono Bourbon support card. You can gamble for it with Twin Turbo Speed. I wouldn't. It's not necessary. She doesn't need it. You can get away with just Early Lead. But that, plus Wet Conditions, and Frontrunner Savvy, she has everything she needs to activate Groundwork. You're going to be having a high wit anyway. And so, super, super free to play friendly. I would advise, like, if there's an Uma that's like big pull, that's one of them. Right after that, you have a Nishino Flower and a Sakira Bakshin Guts card. Very whale banner here. I'm going to say most people want to skip this one. Sakira Bakshin can be a decent borrow if you have decent cards already for Make a New Track and you want to do the Guts build, because she has Groundwork built into her first chain event, just like Smart Falcon. I mean, everything else is sprints, just like the normal speed Bakshin, but having easy access to Groundwork, and if you're doing the Guts build, she's pretty solid. She has 10% race bonus, pretty solid friendship bonus, so a very decent card, but only a borrow, and you should have everything else you need when you're doing your Guts build. Nishino Flower, and I should actually, Nishino Flower Wit is on this one as well. It's just another borrow situation. Not crazy as a wit card itself, but she is the only current card that has Determined Descent, which is the gold version of straight Descent. So any of the Champions meetings, I don't know all of them off the top of my head, that wants this, could be a very solid borrow. I would not pull just the pull on this one. It's not really crazy as a wit card. It has 3 wit bonus, but I mean, you should be using a decent enough amount of wit to get high wit at this point. And it's really only going to be for the gold, so easy skip there. Kind of going through the Umas here. Nothing too crazy. If they're your Oshi, pick them up. If not, easy skip. We come up to Fine Motion. So this one is where you can push for an MLB Fine Motion. It is paired with Kawakami Princess, which is a not too good speed card. Good for team trials because it has a cheap gold for team trials. But other than that, if you do end up MLBing it, it has potential as being your speed card for Make a New Track, has speed bonus. You have way better options though. I mean, you have power bonus, you have speed bonus, you have the race bonus. It is usable, but if you really want to min-max your pulls, especially as a free-to-play, you may want to just live without MLBing her here, especially if you have something like MLB Nice Nature or something else. One of the others 10% ones like Agnes Tachyon, Wit, and some of the other ones. If you can wait, she does rerun again, but paired with a better card. So Fine Motion Wit will drop along, or will pair with Summer Maruzensky at the beginning of Grand Live, like a couple banners in. So if you skip Fine Motion there and wait to pull here, you can also then skip Summer Maruzensky Speed and get both of those cards here. And luckily enough, Summer Maruzensky Speed, you only need 1 limit break to really get the value out of her. So on this one, most likely you should be able to get what you need on just this banner alone with both of them. And Fine Motion, a lot of people are saying, well, she'll fall off when Meijiro Romano comes out. Yes, but you're going to use both of them together. They're both going to work together. You're usually going to have 2 Wit cards when you do Wit. And even then, even when she does finally get fully power crept, where she's not, like, if you're a Super Whale, you're not going to use her anymore. If you're not a Super Whale and you're a free-to-play, she's still going to be a very solid card, even when she's no longer the meta card. And so I feel like that will be a really good option to really min-max your carrots. And so as we continue from there, and the thing is, she's right before Kita-san Black, which is going to be kind of one of your stronger long frontrunners. She has an ult that will activate perfect timing, similar to Seiun Sky's on the corner, but hers is on a backstretch straightaway. So she will be able to accelerate if the backstretch is a straightaway, which all the longs are, that I believe every single long is that way. So just like Encroaching Shadow, she will activate it. Now, it does not work on straightaways that are not the backstretch, basically the finish. So, or basically on the finishing straight. So, very, very big pickup. And she should give us free pulls. This is going to be similar to the Tamamo Cross in Speed Fuku. 50 on her, then 50 on NTR, unless they change it up and put all of them on NTR like they kind of do right now on the JP version for new scenarios. And with that, we go to the next banner, the Narita Top Road banner. I like to call it the Admiral Vega Guts banner, because the only reason I think most people, unless you're like a whale, the only reason to really pull on this banner would, for me, be Admiral Vega Guts. And that is because she is going to be pretty much the best Guts card, even as an SR for the Guts build. And that is because, if you just take a quick look, she has 15% race bonus, already one of the big things you're looking for. She has a decent friendship bonus, 30%. She has power and speed bonus, which is very important for your Guts builds, because not only are you trying to max Guts, but you're trying to max speed and power on the Guts build. And so they're the most important. There's very few speed ones. You have Ines Fujin, you have Admiral Vega Guts, and then you have Sirius Simbly, which is only a 5% race bonus card. I don't know of any of the others. There might be another one out there. You can put it in the comments if I'm not thinking of another Guts card that has speed bonus that's good. But very, very strong card. Here's the problem, though. And I'm actually going to advise most people to skip this banner, especially if you watched people pulling on Fuku today that were pulling. Admiral Vega can screw you even more than any other SSR one. And that is because Guts cards cannot be pitied. You pity the SSR, not the SR. It only has a 1% rate. So it's got a 0.25% rate higher than an SSR. And now, it does have the advantage of you're guaranteed every 10 pull an SR card, which when you kind of do the math on that, it brings her, it's about a 4% rate for her to drop on the guarantee, which then brings her up to about a 1.4% pull rate, which means you could go 200 or even 400 pulls and not get a single copy of Admiral Vega Guts. Now, you only need 3 if you've been saving your SR crystals. But you need to get 3 copies, and if you think about it at a 1.4% pull rate on average, you're looking at it taking 300 pulls on average to get that. That's on average. If you're below average, now you're going up to 400 pulls. If you're really below average, 500, 600. And like I said, you cannot pity her. So you have to get all of them through pulls. So it's definitely a very whaley card to go. I'm planning on pulling on it, but my thing is, while I'm not pulling for Narita Top Road, if I just so happen to MLB her trying to get MLB Admiral Vega Guts, so be it. I'll have an MLB Narita Top Road. She's a fairly solid card. If I do MLB her, I'll use her over borrowing Fuku, because then it gives me some flexibility in borrowing. She gets basically a lot of training effectiveness once you have a lot of fans, which you will have in making you track. Has decent friendship bonus, speed bonus, power bonus, and a 10% race bonus, of course. And then she has a gold firm conditions, which gives you both 60 speed and 60 power. The negative being it eats up a lot. It's like 300 and some skill points. So very expensive gold green, but it is there. And so overall, really, it's just kind of your speed card for doing making new track builds. So for most though, that's gonna be an easy skip. Then kind of going through it, Satono Diamond. Like if some of these are, I'm not gonna go over every single one of them. If they're your Oshi, of course, pick them up. Marvelous Sunday, that one's an easier skip. You have the Curren Chan Wit and Xenorob Roy Speed. This one I could see if you're like a whale and you didn't whale out on either one of these, maybe. Probably not though. I mean, you have currently the 3rd best Wit card, but we're getting better ones coming up. I know if you already have Nice Nature and Fine Motion like I do, this is like the main borrow we're currently using. And this has a heal for your late surgers. To me, easy skip though. Then you have the Seiun Sky Ballroom, who I believe she gets buffed in the future. So the version we're looking at here, I believe, is buffed. So let me switch it down to global. She has an acceleration in her alt as well. Just it's fairly similar to Kita-san Black's. And so just like her normal version, she is a Kita-san Black's in the sim situation. She is a parent for your long front runners for having that acceleration and that backstretch. So another Seiun Sky that you might want to pick up for your front runners. I mean, I shot way down here. Okay, so you have that. Now you are getting hammered with a lot of banners here, so you're probably gonna have to skip Umas or even support cards here and there. Just know that every half anniversary, basically at this point, we're getting those Uma selectors. So as we're approaching the when you get right here on. When you get here, we will have an Uma selector, and you'll have another one on the half anniversary that you can pay for if you're willing to spend. So just know you can slowly accumulate some of these big ones through those. Because right after that one, you skip this, you have Nishino Flower Power, Pace Chaser, Major Orion. Easiest way to explain, I think it's 2nd, 3rd, or 3rd and 4th. What is it? Yeah, 4th through 3rd. Yeah, 3rd or 4th. Basically has the kind of Major Orion, Major Dober condition-ish kind of in there. It's, I think, a little bit more conditional, but it'll be your Pace Chaser for specific tracks. You'll want to inherit it. You have skip. Yeah, skip that one. You can... Okay, this is in the middle of Make a New Track. Make a New Track will have already been going down at this point. Very whaley banner. You've probably heard me talk about this card. I have not heard many others talk about it because it's not had a banner, and it's a Guts card. If you've so happen to have very high dupes of this, and you really like the Guts build, Ines Fujin is a potential. I would not pull on this unless you're like a Leviathan and haven't somehow already MLB'd it. Or if you have like Limit Break 3, or even maybe 2, pulling for this one, because it's good for the Guts build. It only has 5 race bonus, but it has the speed bonus. Has a bunch of good frontrunner stuff with high hint levels and hint frequency. But the big thing is, especially for building frontrunners, using the Guts build, she has a heal. So for those mediums, it'll make it a lot easier to do the Guts build having a heal available. So you don't have to worry about it on the other cards, like your Wit cards that you're going to be bringing there, or as well as your speed. It's just very, very strong Guts card overall for Guts build. And then, of course, you have the Twin Turbo Speed. If you want Mihono Bourbon to be able to get taking the lead, here's your chance to MLB it, to do it, and gamble your way. But very easy skip. Because then right after we have King Halo Cheerleader, one that I kind of forgot to mention on my big long list. She's going to be just like Mummy Creek, in a sense. A situational Excel gamble for sprints. That's all there is to that one. Big pickup for that. But sprints are always going to be a gamble no matter how you approach them. But the better, the more parents and stuff you have for them, they give you more gambles. I mean, the higher the chance you can still win with that gamble. You have skip. Now, I actually saw Victoria Frontier mention this card as a situational borrow card. It's good for 1 CM, the CM that's literally right after it drops. So skip, but borrow this card for the CM that comes right after it. And you also want to skip that one because Mr. CB Wit comes right after it. This one, you only need limit break 1. All you're losing out on is mood effect. And if you actually, like, push these up from limit break, the max limit break to limit break 1, like, barely anything moves. Race bonus doesn't change, so it stays 5%, which is the main thing you care about making you track. Friendship bonus, like, shoots up from 26 to 30%. Like, it's very minor in everything here. You've unlocked wit, you've unlocked speed bonus. You get the wit bonus here, you get the skill point bonus. And you care about the gold daring strike for your end closers. A very, very good card for them. Has a bunch of good stuff in here. Straightaway spurt, tail held high. Big pickup. Now, I will say, this is a card that I've already kind of mentioned before. She does rerun with... where is it here? She will rerun with Super Creek. And it's a little ways into Grand Live, but she does rerun. And so if you're looking to MLB Super Creek on her rerun, alongside, you can then just get your 2 copies, hopefully, of Mr. CB alongside chasing your MLB Super Creek. So you always have the option to skip there and then get her down the road. Let's see, get back to where we were, Mr. CB. Then we got Major Palmer, nothing too crazy here. Machikane Fukukutaru speed. So you have Rico, which is was dead on arrival pretty much after we got the early buffs. Pairing with Machikane Fukukutaru as we're coming close towards the end of Make a New Track at this point. To me, I mean, she has value down the road, but there's better cards. You can use her, but at this point, if you're not MLBing her right now where she's available, don't waste your pulls here. You have Curren Chan and Fine Motion Wedding. Curren Chan Wedding being another decent sprinter with a good... better than the normal Curren Chan on trying to get an acceleration off at good timing. So if you really like Curren Chan or you really want to have something that has a higher chance of winning the gamble on sprint, she can be a pickup there. And then you also, it's paired with Fine Motion Wedding if you're a Fine Motion Oshi pick. But there's a lot of big stuff around here, so I need to stop clicking so I don't have to scroll down every time. We have the Ikuno Dicta Speed, Haru Urada Power. You can skip. Inari 1, another end closer, kind of skippable. Skip here. If you didn't pull for Admiral Vega now, don't pull for her here. You already have Mr. CB for Daring Strike at this point. Easy skip. We have a Sweep Tosho. Now, she's not by no means a meta pick. Man, I accidentally clicked it again. I have to scroll all the way down. But overall, I do like she has 20% power, 10% speed. But what she's going to be bringing is she's going to be the first way, and this is by no means a reason to pull over her, but she's going to be our first Uma that is going to be able to get us Restraint Green in our kit. And so it's a wit increase that also moderately decreases the chance of being rushed. One of the conditions of the Dober alt. And so until we get, I believe, I don't know which one of these is the first, but one of these 2 other cards, which are quite a bit away. I believe it's the Sweep Tosho Wit, which we'll be getting, it, like probably like a few months after, like probably mid or late Grand Live, this will drop. So this will be your real only way to get it for a while. You can always just borrow her as a parent run and slowly build it into your... Because once you can get this spark on one of your other Umas, and then you just pair it with a borrow, and slowly but surely you can get this built in without having it yourself. So, but I thought I'd just mention that. It's easy pickup. She also has a speed decrease skill for end closers, so she can do this even in longs, miles, and sprints. But it does have a vision, unlike Dominator, so it's not hits the whole field. It hits the ones within her field of view. But by no means a must pickup. I just thought she's got some kind of unique things coming, so kind of has some potential there. Then you have Taiki Shuttle Speed. This one to me is a situational borrow. I've heard a lot of people say they like the card, especially for miles, because of it Mile Maven, and it being pretty much your only way to get it. But there's just so many other better speed cards out there. Just put this into your borrow pile and just skip that. Kind of skip. Seiun Sky, Narita Bryan rerun. If you need Seiun Sky, this is your shot to get her. Then we have Throne. All you need to know about this is it's the best in slot card that when it drops, you're not going to want to pull on it because Make a New Track literally only has one more Champions meeting left at this point. But it is a very, very strong... It's basically your Pell card for Make a New Track. They just give it out really, really late for some reason. You just borrow this. Do not pull on this card unless you're a whale, because it's only going to be good for that 1 CM and then it just crashes and burns after that. And it's also right around the corner of your summer cards. So we have Gold Ship Summer, a very, very nice pickup for team trials. She has an alt and that with she uses 2 random gold skills in the second half of the race. So very easy to pick up points, and can also be, if you really love your debuffers, an option for bringing something like Dominator to longs, because you have the debuffer inherit this, make the only debuff they have Dominator, or the only gold debuff Dominator, because the inherit's only 1 skill, and then they can activate Dominator in the second half of the race randomly. So this is very good as an inherit. She's going to be a top tier parent for all your team trials Umas, as well as if you want to do some shenanigans in bringing debuffs or some kind of skill outside of the track it's meant for. I mean, you could see it even work with something like Mile Maven and bringing it outside of Mile. But the negative is you can't have any other golds if you want to activate that specific one. So to me, I could only really see it being used for a debuffer where you bring Dominator and then a crap ton of white debuffs. We have that. And then she's paired, or they're paired with, of course, Sumeru's NC Speed. Top tier speed card for your frontrunners. Has all kinds of goodies. Originally the thing that completely power crept Sumeru Zensky, because her card. Just all around good stats and everything on it. Has Top Runner, which is your... I think that's taking the lead. It's just the name. Okay. Or is this one that we don't have? But it's... yeah, Pass Runner... Yeah. What is it? Oh, it's leader. It's gold leader. Yeah, that's what it is. It's gold leader's pride. I was like, no, it's not taking the lead. We don't have it yet, but it's gold leader's pride. And then it has groundwork and all kinds of other god tier skills in here for your front runners. And she can get training effectiveness on any of your training facilities based on its level. So it's 5 per level. If it's maxed out, you get that 20 bonus. Okay, let's see. From there, you got skip. You can kind of skip here. Now, this is a card that maybe you want to pick up here. If you hadn't already picked it up with a selector or whatnot. You don't even need limit breaks on this. It's not a very good wit stat stick anyway, but it does give wit. You're missing out on the wit bonus and initial wit, which you can live without. The big reason you would pick one copy of this up is for No Stopping Me. You've already probably seen how strong that is on longs. And going into Make a New Track, we're not going to have it available, although this is coming towards the end of Make a New Track. But it can still have value in other ones until we see the special week SSR stamina card to get it there. So, if you're still missing it, it might be something to pick up, but I feel like it's too late at this point, and just wait till special week stamina. Man, where I'm losing my... Okay, so you have that. Oh, and that one comes with Ikuno Dictus as well, the feet card. 15% race bonus. Like I said, this is at the tail end of Make a New Track. Then you have Copano Ricky, the meta Dirt Uma. She's gonna put Smart Falcon to shame, although can be hard to build, especially early on. She has a very strong ult, similar to Smart Falcon's to an extent. But it is tied to how many greens she activates. And she wants to activate 6 greens to get the maximum value out of it. So, if you already found your front runners hard to get 3 greens on, she needs to get 6 of them. Now, she has 2 of them built in. One of them a new one, which I shouldn't have closed it. But one of them being new. That's going to be outstanding prep, specifically for dirt. And that one gives, if you get the evolved version, speed of 80. So you get that one plus exchange races, which is basically your dirt races, or at least the majority of the dirt races here. And so, pretty good pickup. And then if for some reason you're running her as a pace chaser, which she's I'm pretty sure going to be the better as a front runner, but you do have pace chaser savvy as well if you really wanted to go that route. So you have that. Kind of skip there. Smart Falcon, Power Creep, Grand Live. If you want to use her, I mean, Copano Ricky is going to be better, but you have an option at her. She's just outright better than the original for most intents purposes. And then we're going to finish it off here, because this one I just kind of wanted to cover up through Make a New Track as we're getting close to approaching it. The PAL card banner for Grand Live. And unlike Rico, who was really, really good, but not really mandatory for Unity Cup, this will be a must pick up, must use. I don't know all the details of Grand Live yet. I'll be making a video on that as we start getting through Make a New Track and getting closer to it. Just know PAL cards start interacting more with the actual scenario mechanics. I believe in hers, it's like giving you more of whatever the idle icons you're collecting in it by having her through her event. And so you want to have her specifically for that mechanic. Nice thing is, and you'll see this with a lot of the PAL cards, they get paired with fairly good support cards. We kind of seen it with Rice Shower, although she fell off hard for us because of the first anniversary buffs getting those early. But she gets paired with Agnes Tachyon Speed, which is a link card for the scenario, and a very good speed card overall. You can you'll use your Kitasan Black paired with this. If you MLB this card, you pair this one with Kitasan Black, basically. And that's 2 of your speed cards. And she's very good for Pace Chaser, so she can last even longer for Pace Chasers as well. And that's pretty much it. I thought I'd just cover all the way up through Make a New Track as we approach it. And that's kind of my priorities. Now, I didn't cover everything, and you can let me know in the comments, or maybe some people have mentioned in chat. I try to kind of pay attention to them to an extent on anything I may have missed. But yeah, that's everything there. And yeah, it's kind of, my polls are going to be kind of all over the place, but I'm pulling mostly for those meta inherits and the big support cards. I'm not a Leviathan trying to MLB every single card that has situationally good use, but more the big ones that can be used quite often that can give me some flexibility in my borrows. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. And if you like my content, if you like, comment, and subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.